Hello, this is Yogeshwar 7000 again, and I'm back with another interesting topic in Vedic astrology today. And today we'll be talking about the very important subject of wealth. As we all know that wealth is a very important factor in our lives, and we keep looking at our birth charts to figure out as to whether we are going to be wealthy or not. And there are various views and various methods to answer that. But today we'll be talking about a very specific method which was given to us by the great sage Jaimini, who was second generation to sage Parashara, and also sage Bhrigu. Actually, sage Bhrigu was the first as far as the knowledge of Jyotisha or Vedic astrology is concerned. So sage Jaimini is the second generation to Parashara, and he gives a lot of importance to Arudha Lagnas. Whenever you read sage Jaimini, he is going to give a little more importance to Arudha Lagna as compared to sage Parashara. And one of his sutras says that one method of analyzing whether a person is going to be wealthy or not, is through the Arudha Lagna and the planets placed in the 11th house from Arudha Lagna. And of course, like I always keep mentioning, that my videos are always a direct reference to the ancient scriptures, but at the same time I also caution that do not jump to a conclusion, because there are various methods. There could be a method given to us by the great sage Parashara, or there could be another method given to us by the great sage Bhrigu or Atri or Gautam. These are all sutras and shlokas given by these sages based on their own divine knowledge which they have gained, which came to them directly from the great Brahma. And then of course, look at it from other scholars' point of view as well. But this is just one method to determine wealth through the Arudha Lagna. And Arudha Lagna, the 11th, look at the 11th house from the Arudha Lagna, look at planets placed in the 11th house from the Arudha Lagna, and say Jaimini says, according to the sutra, that the more the planets are in the 11th house from the Arudha Lagna, the wealthier you are going to be. He also says that in case planets are aspecting the 11th house from the Arudha Lagna, that also will determine how wealthy a person is going to be. So both the placement and the aspect on the 11th house is going to determine how wealthy a person is going to be. The more the aspects and more the placement of planets in the 11th house from the Arudha Lagna, the more wealthier a person is going to be. Okay. Now, a lot of astrologers make this mistake by just looking at the 11th house from Arudha Lagna and then coming to a conclusion that yes, this is how the wealth of a person is going to be determined. But there are certain qualifications which sage Jaimini discussed in his sutra, and that is what we are going to discuss today. So sage Jaimini says, in case the 11th house from the Arudha Lagna is a benefic planet, and in case the aspect of that planet on the 11th house from the Arudha Lagna is a benefic planet, then a person is going to gain wealth through fair means. Okay, he's not going to get into unfair practices. But in case the planets which are placed or aspect the 11th house from the Arudha Lagna are malefic planets, then that person is going to be wealthy through unfair means. He may be a corrupt politician or a corrupt businessman, whatever it may be. So look out for that qualification which has been given to us by the ancient sages, that just don't jump to a conclusion based on the fact that, okay, this person is going to be wealthy, but if in case you want to go deeper into it, how the person has acquired this wealth, this sutra is going to give you an idea as to how the person has acquired the wealth, whether by fair means or unfair means. Also, sage Jaimini has mentioned that in case the planet which is placed in the 11th house from the Arudha Lagna, or in case the planet which is aspecting the Arudha Lagna is in its own sign, or in its exalted sign, or is it in its friendly sign, then he's going to be wealthy in that order. Now, order, what is the order? He's going to be wealthier in case the planet which is placed in the 11th house from the Arudha Lagna is exalted. He's going to be a little less wealthier in case the planet which is placed in the 11th house from the Arudha Lagna is in its Mula Trikona sign. In case the planet which is placed in the 11th house from the Arudha Lagna in its own sign, it is going to be a little less wealthy as compared to the earlier two, which is exaltation sign and the Mula Trikona sign. And in case the planet which is placed in the 11th house from the Arudha Lagna is in its friendly sign, then it's going to be a little less wealthy. So in that order, the best case scenario is when it's exalted. The second best is when it's in a Mula Trikona sign. The third best is when it is in its own sign. The fourth case is when it's in its friendly sign. So you have to look at as to what is the extent of wealth he will have based on the position of the planet in the 11th house. Similarly, in case the planet which is aspecting the 11th house from the Arudha Lagna is exalted, then he'll be a little more wealthy. If it's in its own Mula Trikona sign, then he's going to be a little less wealthier. In case he's in its own sign, then a little less, and then friendly sign, then it's going to be a little less. So look at that order. And say Gemini is also mentioned that in case that planet which is aspecting the 11th house from the Arudha Lagna is not aspecting the 12th house as well, then the person is going to be wealthy. Now, he should not, he's put in a condition that that planet should not aspect the 12th house as well as the 11th house. And what will be the situation? When would that happen? Because we know that the planet Mars does that. It aspects one sign, which is the 7th from its position and also the 8th from its position. So look out for that combination, that it should not aspect the 12th house along with the 11th house it's aspecting. Otherwise, he's going to be, or the planet is going to be aspecting the 12th house, which we'll discover in another sutra that what happens, that because the 12th house is the house of expenditure. Now, say Gemini has also mentioned that in case the planet which is aspecting are many, they are not one, then the more the planets are, the more wealthier the person is going to be. Thirdly, say Gemini has mentioned that in case the aspecting planet has an Argala with it. Now, what is Argala? Please refer to my earlier videos. For people who do not know what an Argala is, then the more the Argala, then the wealthier the person becomes. Another condition which say Gemini has put in, that in case the Argala giving planet is a benefic planet, the planet which provides Argala to the aspecting planet is a benefic planet, then he'll be more wealthy. And in case the Argala providing planet to the aspecting planet is a malefic planet, then he'll be a little less wealthy. So this was a little discussion about this particular sutra which Sage Gemini, the great Sage Gemini, has provided us to determine wealth and to the extent of the wealth a person will have and what kind of means will he acquire this wealth, as all these factors and qualifications have been given in the sutra. Hopefully you did enjoy this, and in the meanwhile I will recommend subscribe to my channel and check out my website. There is a link below, and I will see you with an interesting topic in Vedic astrology very soon. Goodbye.